Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm finally doing it. I'm finally rereading the whole Twilight saga. I can't stand this mouse. And it's a little bit dramatic. It's kind of creepy. This book is actually giving me like okay, please make up your mind. Why am I having like an identity crisis right now? I know it's not Hoa Hoa season, but we're still gonna read it. It's so nice outside. It's a Sunday afternoon. It's 4 p.m. and the snow is melting. It's warm outside. It's sunny. I just finished my Sunday cleaning. I washed my hair. Nothing could be better. Anyways, I originally read these 4 books at the ripe age of like 12 or 13, so that's like 9 or 10 years ago. So I'm gonna cherish the fact that I probably don't remember what happened in the books, but I do watch the movies like every year at least once. I actually watched the first one last night because I got the itch. I'm like, okay, I feel like watching the movies, and I recently got the book, so it's the perfect time. It's meant to be. And the exciting news isn't over yet because there's 3 new books in this whole like series that I haven't read. The first one is Midnight Sun, which a lot of people said that I'm in for a treat. I recently posted this book haul, and in the comments of that, people were like, drop everything and read Midnight Sun immediately. And I'm super excited for this, but it is a long one. This is Edward's point of view of the first book. And then there's the second one, which is a novella, The Short Life of Bree Tanner. Don't know what this is about. And then Life and Death, which is a Twilight reimagined. I don't know if I'm gonna read these like one after the other. I might come back and I might go away for a little bit, read other books, and then come back to the series because I don't want to force myself to read the whole series if I don't feel like it. But right now I am in the mood. So we're gonna start off with the first book, Twilight. I don't know what you guys think, but the movies, some people make fun of the acting or how it was like portrayed and how the movie was done, but the one thing you can't shit on is the soundtrack. The movie, all the movies, immaculate. The soundtrack is everything. It adds to the whole atmosphere of the movie and it just makes everything so good. So I went on Spotify to see if there's like a soundtrack that I can listen to while I'm reading the books, and there's one that has the complete soundtrack. Oh my god. Okay, I'm gonna play that when I get to that part. I just got to the part where they're in their biology class and they meet for the first time. Bella is like the last one there and she's assigned to be Edward's seatmate. You know, in the movie where the fan hits her and then he's just like, I can't stand the smell. It says, he was leaning away from me, sitting in the extreme edge of his chair and averting his face like he smelled something bad. Inconspicuously, I sniffed my hair. It smelled like strawberries, the scent of my favorite shampoo. It was so funny. I feel like he was overreacting. I feel like that part of the movie was very done too much, but like it made the movie. I love it. And it's like become a meme. I would feel bad too. Like this cute boy sitting beside me is acting like I smell bad. I would have run out of there, get in my car, drive home, and take a deep shower, an everything shower. Make sure everything's washed. It's a couple hours later. I only got this far into the book. I'm reading pretty slowly. I don't know why, but I got to chapter 8. Port Angeles, page 124, and I completely forgot about the things that are happening in this book. Like, I mean, when I read it, I imagine what's happening in the movie, but there's like some little details that aren't included in the movies that I forgot about. First of all, Edward is a little bit different at the start. From the movie, I remember him to be less laughing, giggly, and smiling, and more brooding, emotionless, and kind of mean, because like in here there's few instances where he annoys Bella and he appears to be laughing, which was like, what? he was not laughing before Bella knew who he was. There's also with Jacob. Jacob made an appearance like a chapter ago, and it seems that they're less acquainted. Like in the movies, I remember him meeting Bella with a truck with his dad, but no, they met up at the beach, La Push, and they didn't seem to be close, you know, because it says that Bella was hanging out with his older sisters, so that was weird. And also there's a character in here, her name's Lauren, and she's part of like the friend group that she meets at school, and she's a little bit of a mean girl. In the movies it was only Jessica and Angela, which I don't mind because I don't think I would have liked her in the movie. And also I want to say this is going to be like a spoiler reading vlog. I feel like the books and the movies have been around for such a long time that everyone knows about it. And if you don't, I don't know. If you haven't read these books and want to read them, maybe it's now the best time to click out of this video. And then I wanted to add Bella. Bella's character is a little bit different than in the movies. I feel like she's less closed off and less awkward. I mean, she's still clumsy like in the movies, but here she's more open to, you know, being happier about certain things, like normal things, like them going to Port Angeles to go dress shopping. She seems to be excited for that. It says here, it had been a while since I had a girls' night out and the estrogen rush was invigorating. Like, it just seems like she's excited for it. Because in the movies, she wasn't really looking forward to the dress shopping. She was there for something else. Yeah, so Bella seems to be more into the dress shopping here and like giving compliments and critiquing the different dresses that Angela and Jessica are trying on. Like, that was not her in the movies. And now I'm the part where she gets cornered by men on the streets and Edward comes to the rescue with his crazy driving skills. I just got to the part where Bella asks, "How old are you?" Edward says 17, and then she asks again, "And how long have you been 17?" And he says, "A while." So this is where Bella finds out that Edward is indeed a vampire. And in the movie they're outside because he starts jumping on rocks and climbing on trees, basically scaring her and saying that everything about him, his face, his scent, is a trap to lure her in. But that's not exactly what happens in the book. Like, she's still finding out everything, the same information, but they're in the car driving back to Forks from Port Angeles after that whole incident there. So it's just so different. It feels like I'm watching the movie in my head, but only a slightly different version because not everything in the movie happens exactly like it did in the book. So I'm just like having the time of my life here. I'm gonna keep reading and probably see you guys tomorrow, unless there's something really interesting that I can't wait to tell you guys. Hello guys, it's the next day, and as you saw by the previous clips, I did end up finishing Twilight yesterday and I loved it. It was amazing. There were some things different from the movies, but I just felt like I was watching a different movie in my head and I loved it. Definitely 5 out of 5. The thing that happened with James was a little bit different, but like it was still good. I loved it. And then now I'm on the second book, or like not really the second book, because the second book would be New Moon, but I searched up reading orders on TikTok and people recommended reading this second because it's technically the same things that are happening in this book. Some people recommended tandem reading it, but I was like, I think I'm just gonna read it separately. Other people also did recommend reading it after Breaking Dawn, just because some people said they got bored because it is the same storyline as the first book. But honestly, I love Twilight, the first book. It's so nostalgic. I used to watch it all the time when I was little. I still do now, and I think reading about it in his point of view is just like so much more exciting. And this is a thick book. Like, look at the difference. Like, Edward probably had a lot of thoughts. My prediction is that he's like a go 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 type of person. He has lots of thoughts. Like, it's just continuous. Like, he never sleeps, so he probably has a lot to think about. I think this is mostly gonna be his like inner monologue and him just going crazy protective about Bella. So I'll see you guys later. Hey guys, it's been like a week since you last saw me. I know there's so many time jumps, but I was just in the middle of 2 videos that I just finished filming. Well, finish-ish. I finished reading the books for that video, and now I'm still on Midnight Sun. I actually just finished the first chapter, and my first thoughts is that Edward's a little bit dramatic. I don't know, he's just like over the top, but I mean, he is hearing everyone's thoughts, and I feel like that would get to your head and just like annoy the life out of you. But he's had time to like, you know, get used to it and hone it down. I just finished the part where he came across Bella, and oh my god, he just imagined killing everyone in that biology class and then killing Bella. And now he's like, I'm leaving, I can't deal with this. So I'm at that part, and it's just funny. He's so grumpy. The very first line, or the very first, like I underlined, it says, "This is the time of the day when I most wish I were able to sleep. High school, or was purgatory the right word? If there were any way to atone for my sins, this ought to count toward the tally in some measure. The tendium was not something I grew used to. Every day seemed more impossibly monotonous than the last day." I feel like also his language is very old, because he is old, so I had to search up a few words and learn what they meant. But many times he could have just used simpler words, but I guess he's old. So I'm gonna keep reading. I have a lot of time today. It's only 3 p.m. and I have nothing else to do aside from reading this. This is a big book, but the thing I love about it is that look how floppy it is, so it's not stiff when I read it. See, it opens pretty nicely. Anyways, I'm gonna stop talking and read. I'm excited. Hello guys, it's like a couple hours later. I've been stuck to this chair for the past 2 hours. I haven't really moved. I got this far into the book, chapter 8, page 196, and the chapters in this book are so long. There's only 30 chapters in this big book, and it's like the same chapters as Twilight, and that book was like a lot shorter. And this book, it's just him basically overthinking. It's his inner monologue of overthinking whether he should stay around Bella or he should leave, but then he always finds a reason to stay. And yeah, it's basically him overthinking everything. At some point it got annoying, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm only a fourth into this book and I'm kind of finding him a little bit overbearing already, but I'm gonna keep going. Hopefully this doesn't change the way I look at Edward. I don't think so. Because I have loved him since day one. I would not let this book make me think otherwise. So I like that we get to see his point of view and like the other things that are going on with his family, and also when he interacts with people, regular humans, he tells us what they're thinking. And there's like the secretary, I think her name's Shelley, and I'm like, okay, or Mrs. Cope, I think. She's like, too young, he's too young. I'm like, everyone is just dazzled by Edward, and I get it. Okay, he talks about following her, basically stalking her everywhere. Like, I feel like every time Bella said something along the lines of, oh, I felt like someone was watching me, or, you know, someone was behind her, I feel like it was him the whole time. I mean, I don't know why I didn't make that connection, but it's kind of creepy. Like, aside from him watching her sleep every night, he's also watching her every move. Like, she was reading a book under the sun in her backyard, and he was just there up in the trees. Like, just there watching her. That's kind of creepy, isn't it? Like, anyways, now at the part where he's rescuing her from the situation in Port Angeles, it's just, obviously, why am I surprised? He knows her every move. It's just so creepy. And Angela, hearing her thoughts, oh my god, it matches so much from her actions in the first book and also in the movie, because she's always been a hater. She's always been jealous of Bella and how she got Edward and she didn't. He was obsessed with her, and now he thinks she's insane because now she finds out that he's a vampire, or guesses that he's a vampire, and he's all like, oh my god, I'm so anxious about her mental health. She's acting crazy. She just found out I'm a monster. And she's just sitting there with the biggest grin ever. And then he's like, we can fix this. Carlisle might have some connections to doctors and therapists and like put her in a facility and he'd still visit her. And I'm like, oh, what is going on? Like, what? It's just so funny because I'm like, okay, you guys are both insane right now. You're insane. She's not insane. Well, she is a little bit, but what the heck? Guys, this book is actually killing me. Like, I'm sitting here laughing out loud, making fun of my favorite character in my most favorite series ever. I'm currently where she's like, oh, I'm just ordinary, and you're like this gorgeous male. That's why people are like, oh, why are they together? And he says, she thought she was ordinary. She thought I was somehow preferable to her. In whose estimation? Silly, narrow-minded, blind humans like Jessica or Miss Cope? How could she not realize she was the most beautiful, the most exquisite? Those words weren't even enough. And then the next second, he's talking about this ugly green sweater she's wearing. He's like, she would look so good in a blue dress right now. Get her out of this ugly green sweater that gives her no shape. Oh my god. Oh my god. Why is he so shallow right now? Why are you complaining about her green sweater right now? Leave her be. Girl just wants to be comfortable. I understand that. This is like another side of him, and it's just so funny. It's like, yes, I want to know more, and no, I don't want to wreck the perfect image I have of him in my mind. He's just overthinking so much, and I feel like I haven't even gone through a lot of this book, and I'm already like, I don't know if I can keep going. Hello guys, it's the next day and I'm finally over 50% this big book. This book is so long and dense. Like, it took forever to get through some chapters. Some of the chapters were like 50 to 60 pages long, and I was like, I'm getting bored because it's just him overthinking. I got to chapter 18, page 474, and I'm liking him a lot more in the second half. The first half, he was just like overthinking everything and constantly contradicting himself. Like, one minute he'd be like, oh, I shouldn't have touched her, I repulsed her, and then the next minute he'd be like, so what if I repulse her? She's the love of my life. She's my life now. No one else matters. If I can't have her, I die. And I'm like, okay, please make up your mind, because I'm the one sitting here taking my time reading through all your thoughts just for you to switch every 2 seconds. Anyways, now he's more bearable. He did something sweet for Angela. He got her a prom date with the guy she wanted to go on a date with by like pretending to like her and talk to Emmett like, oh, like I like Angela, but she doesn't want me. She wants this guy. And that guy was sitting right behind them. And the guy's like, oh wow, she didn't want Edward, but she wants me. I'm definitely gonna ask her. And that was so sweet. I'm like, yeah, that's a good way to use your mind reading powers. And then I got to the part where they're in the field and he's showing her skin, and he's all like, as if you can outrun me, as if you can fight me. Yeah, that scene. And I just like that he's getting to know her, like wanting to know more about her and the people that she loves. I like that he's listening to that. What else do I have to say? Oh, when he has conversations with his family, it literally looks like a one-sided conversation if we're looking at them, because he just reads their minds and he replies back and they don't talk at all. I'm like, oh, if I saw this in real time, I'd be so confused. I'm like, what is going on right now? Anyways, I'm gonna keep reading and update you guys later with whatever is happening at that moment. I just woke up like 2 hours ago. It's currently 3 p.m. I was on a night shift last night. I'm gonna be on a night shift again tonight. And as you saw, I finished Midnight Sun and started New Moon. We're gonna talk about Midnight Sun first. What did I learn after reading this book? I learned that Edward suffers from extreme anxiety and overthinking. 90% of this book was him overthinking, spiraling, freaking out, and saying that he's not right for Bella, it's best for her not to be around him. And then other 10% is him contradicting himself and saying that she's his life and will be there forever by her side and will only leave if she asks him to. I don't know what to think. I mean, I love Twilight. I'm a die-hard Twilight fan. I've been a fan since day one. But this book, I felt like it was so long. It took me about like almost a week to finish this book, and I did cheat. Halfway through the book, I got the audiobook just because I could not read it anymore. I could listen to him. I could not read it anymore because I was like, you're anxious, you're overthinking, I'm anxious, and I'm overthinking. But the thing I loved about this book is that we got more of like his background, his life before he got turned and his life right after he turned. And it just made me fall in love with Carlisle and Esme more. I love them so much, and now I love them even more. We got more of like the family, and I really like that. I also loved Alice. Have you guys seen that like fanfic or whatever? I saw something about like Bella and Alice getting together and just leaving everyone. I kind of ship them. It feels like Edward was like, okay, keep your minds to yourself, because Alice like kind of liked her, I feel like. And I was like, I don't mind. I'm not mad. I actually would prefer that because they have good chemistry. Anyways, I think I'm like team Alice right now because Edward is not doing it for me in this book. I mean, I still love him. I loved him ever since. I was always team Edward, but now I'm like team Alice question mark, just because Edward was a little bit annoying and a little bit unsufferable at times. I'm like, okay, make up your mind. We don't need 30 pages of you overthinking of staying with Bella and saying that you're a monster and that you're gonna ruin her life. Like, if you truly think that, then leave. That was a bit harsh. Also at the end, you know, when she goes to the ballet studio, she was getting hunted by, what's his name? I forget. But like, you know, that blonde guy. You know how in the movie they ran there? In here, they were stealing cars and running from the police, like literally, because it was like broad daylight and they couldn't risk getting seen. So they were like stealing a bunch of cars and running from the police. That was funny. Like, that was a new detail. But yeah, I think I'm gonna rate this a 4 stars. I'm taking a star away just because it was like hard to read at sometimes, and the audiobook really helped. The chapters in here were also very long. There's 30 chapters in this like 800-ish book, and one time it took me 2 hours just to finish a chapter, and I'm like, that's not motivating me to continue. Hey guys, I wanted to add like one little thing to my review of Midnight Sun. I feel like Edward's POV doesn't really add anything significant to the story like Twilight, because we all know what happened already. But even though Bella can be a little one-dimensional in the first book, at sometimes she knows how to move the plot along, you know? Like, she doesn't sit there and think about one little thing for like 200 pages. She knows how to move the plot along and keep readers like entertained and hooked. Edward, not really. That's why I ended up getting the audiobook. I still love the book, but not as much as the first book. Okay, now I'm on New Moon, and I think this is like my least favorite movie and book, just because this is when Edward leaves Bella, and it's mostly her inner monologue of like being heartbroken and like, you know, feeling that she's not enough. And then we also get more of Jacob. I actually got to that part where, you know, she's sitting in the window. It's like October, November, December, January. It just like goes around and she's in front of the windows and the seasons are changing. I feel like now that I'm older, I understand that, like, being heartbroken, because I was like, girl, you're so dramatic. Okay, stop. He left you, his loss. You're better than that. And then now I'm like, okay, I kind of feel that feeling, because I feel like I can relate more now because I've gone through what she's gone through. And the conversation they had in the woods just before he left was like very nonchalant. In this book, he was just like, okay, I'm leaving. I don't want to be with you anymore. And she's just like, okay. And doesn't really put up a fight like in the movies. She only like runs after him after he runs away. And I was like, okay, Bella, he literally said, as if you can outrun me. Running after him will do nothing. He's a vampire. He's fast. Like, he's probably already across the continent when you started chasing after him. But I don't know. I was like shedding a tear there at the nursing station last night. I was like, what? This is it? Guys, I know you just saw me a second ago, but like this chapter 4, it says, waking up. Time passes, even when it seems impossible. Even when each tick of the second hand aches like the pulse of blood behind a bruise. It passes unevenly, in strange lurches and dragging lulls, but pass it does, even for me. What does that describe? Heartbreak so much. Like when you're so heartbroken, you don't care about anything else in the world, and even time is passing so painfully, and you're just there waiting for time to pass and heal the pain. It just seems like a really long process. The older I get, the more I relate to her. It's just crazy because when I was young, I was like, girl, you're being dramatic, okay? The guy will always come back. He's the main character. Let's stop being dramatic. Hello guys, it's a couple hours later. I am leaving shortly for my shift, but I got to page 137 in the middle of a chapter. There's like paragraphs, so it's like easy to stop wherever I want. But when Edward said, as if I never existed, so it's like clean break, easier for her to, you know, move on. He took that to another level because he took everything that reminded her of him. Like all the pictures she took on her camera and all the gifts he got her, even the stereo in her truck that Emmett got her, he took back. I was like, okay, that's a little petty. Maybe leave some of these things behind to let her know at least that you existed, you know? But also he said that a clean break is like the best way to move on, even if it does hurt. But like he's kind of salty for that. Like, why would you do that? Make her suffer even more. Anyways, in this book, Bella's so productive. Like, she's always cleaning the house. She has a job. She works for like Mike Newton's mom. I think they have like a store that she works at. She did not have a job in the movie, or am I missing something? I don't know. But yeah, she's a lot more productive, and Jacob made his entrance, and I feel bad for Jacob. I've always felt bad for Jacob because Bella is essentially just filling a void that Edward left, and she's just using him essentially, like with the bikes, the dirt bikes, because she found out that if she becomes rebellious or like does something dangerous, she sees like the ghost of Edward telling her not to do it. I didn't know they could do that. I didn't know they can like send telegrams of themselves, which is like cool. Or maybe it's all in her head. Maybe it is, right? Because I saw that somewhere, that maybe it is all in her head. But yeah, I feel bad for Jacob. He's so innocent and he just likes her, and she's using him. Like, why is it that after reading Midnight Sun, I'm slowly becoming Team Jacob and Team Alice? I don't know. Maybe it's just my mood. Maybe I am just salty right now, but yeah, that's all my update. I have to leave, so you'll see me at work later, hopefully. Hey guys, I'm so sorry for the noise. My family's over. We're having a dinner for my mom because it's her birthday, so if you hear a bunch of kids yelling in the background, that's them. Anyways, I got to chapter 19, page 342, and this is the chapter right after Edward finds out that Bella died because Jacob was like, no, he's not here. He's at a funeral, but didn't specify whose funeral. And because Alice saw Bella jump from the cliff, they all thought that she died. So like Romeo and Juliet, Edward's gonna go kill himself. The more that I read about Jacob, the more I'm loving him. Like, I'm loving this book, and I remember not liking it as much because there was less romance, more of Bella's like inner monologue of being heartbroken. But after reading Midnight Sun, why am I having like an identity crisis right now? Like, I've always been Team Edward, but now I'm leaning towards Jacob. Like, what is happening? I know she's gonna end up with Edward, but like, what is going on with me right now? Anyways, I'm probably gonna finish this bit of the book tonight. When I go to bed, I am gonna go downstairs and have some dinner. I just wanted to tell you guys what was happening because right now I don't know who I am. Like, I don't. Hello guys, it's the next day and I did finish New Moon late last night and I'm so conflicted. I don't know what to think. I think I just need to step back from the series and read other books to like kind of get myself back together again, because I feel like I'm in the middle of a crisis because I've always been Team Edward, but now why am I slowly thinking like, oh my god, maybe I was like on the wrong team the whole time. But no, like literally I've been in love with Edward since I was 13, so that can't be. This is just like a little bump on the road. So there will be definitely a part 2 to this video of me reading the rest of the series, just because I think Midnight Sun put me in a little bit of a reading slump. I don't know, it's just a big dense book. What is like fueling this crisis is that Bella is less insufferable with Jacob. I feel like she doesn't really have to worry about Jacob leaving her because she does have that trauma with Edward about like leaving her and her always asking him to stay, even though they both know he's not right for her and it's just best if she goes on with her life without him. And then with Jacob, I feel like there's times where she just like forgets all about Edward, forgets all about the heartbreak, and just truly lives her life and has fun and actually laughs without thinking of Edward. I actually love that for her because she's like getting past this super big heartbreak, and now I'm like, obviously Jacob's the better choice. Like she'll be able to live a normal life and Jacob can give her all that. That's my thought. I don't even know what to rate this book. Like I'll have it on the screen because I can't make up my mind right now because I'm like really having a hard time. So yeah, stay tuned to see part 2 of this video. It'll either come out in 2 weeks from now or like 3 weeks. I don't know. I'll take as much time as I need because this series is like part of who I am and I'm questioning a lot of things. Oh my god.